Let's dive into fixing those pesky null object reference errors in Friday Night Funkin', FNF. This is a common problem, especially when modding or working with custom content. These errors basically mean you're trying to use something that doesn't exist yet, leading to a crash. Here's how to track them down and solve them. 1. Understand the error message. The first step is always understanding what the error message actually says. It usually tells you where in your code the problem occurred, which file and line number, and what object is null. This information is your map to the problem. 2. Check your object instantiation. The most frequent cause of null object reference errors is forgetting to properly create, instantiate an object before you use it. If you're using a custom character, song, or other element, double-check that you've correctly created it using the new keyword. For example, if you're using a custom character called myCharacter, you would create it with something like myCharacter = new myCharacter. Make sure you're doing this before you try to use any of its properties or methods. 3. Inspect variable assignments. Errors can also arise from incorrect variable assignments. Suppose you have a variable that should hold a reference to an object, but it's inadvertently left empty. Review each assignment carefully, paying close attention to any potential typos or incorrect references. Ensure that the variable that is supposed to point at your object, for example, boyfriend or girlfriend in FNF, is indeed correctly assigned the value representing the actual object. 4. Trace variable values. If you're still struggling, use debugging tools, if your code editor supports it, to step through your code line by line. Watch the values of your variables to see if they are correctly holding object references, or if they are unexpectedly null at different stages of execution. This helps visualize your code's flow and highlight precisely where the null object is becoming a problem. 5. Examine conditional statements. Another area prone to error involves conditional logic. If, else, else. Maybe you're accessing an object only if a specific condition is met. Check that condition. If it's always false, the object might never be initialized, resulting in a null reference when you later attempt to use it. 6. Event handling and timing. If you're working with events, ensure the object is properly initialized before the event that uses it is triggered. Sometimes the timing of object creation and event calls might be off, leading to a null object. 7. Review JSON files, if applicable. If your FNF mod relies on JSON files for data, verify that the JSON is formatted correctly and that the data you're trying to access actually exists. A missing entry in your JSON could manifest as a null object error. Pay close attention to spelling and ensure your keys match exactly. 8. Refer to existing documentation and tutorials. The FNF modding community is generally supportive. If you are encountering persistent issues, refer to the existing documentation, tutorials, or reach out for help. The community forums might already have answers to common null object reference errors. By carefully reviewing your code, following these steps, and utilizing debugging tools, you should be well equipped to track down and fix those frustrating null object reference errors in your FNF projects. Remember, patience and careful examination are key to success.